Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and social activist who led the American civil rights movement from the mid-1950s until his death in 1968. He is historically significant for his role in ending the legal segregation of African Americans in the United States and for his commitment to nonviolent protest. Born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, King was raised in a family of ministers. During his studies at Morehouse College and Crozer Theological Seminary, he was influenced by the nonviolent philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi and the principles of the Christian social gospel. These ideas formed the foundation of his approach to social change. King first gained national attention in 1955 during the Montgomery bus boycott in Alabama. The boycott lasted 381 days and resulted in a Supreme Court ruling that declared segregated buses unconstitutional. This victory established him as a central figure in the movement. In 1957, he helped found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to coordinate nonviolent protests across the South. The organization focused on using mass demonstrations to challenge racial injustice and attract national media attention to the realities of Jim Crow laws. In 1963, King led a campaign against segregation in Birmingham, Alabama, which resulted in his arrest. While incarcerated, he wrote the Letter from Birmingham Jail, a document that explained the necessity of direct action and argued that individuals have a moral duty to disobey unjust laws. Later that year, he played a key role in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. It was during this event that he delivered his most famous address, expressing a vision of a future where individuals would be judged by their character rather than their race. King's leadership was instrumental in the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These pieces of legislation abolished legal segregation and removed many barriers that had prevented African Americans from exercising their right to vote. In recognition of these achievements, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Toward the end of his life, King broadened his activism to include opposition to the Vietnam War and a focus on economic inequality through the Poor People's Campaign. These positions were controversial and led to a decline in his popularity among some political leaders and more conservative supporters. During this period, the Federal Bureau of Investigation conducted extensive surveillance on King, attempting to find evidence of communist ties or personal indiscretions to undermine his influence. Some contemporary activists also questioned whether his non-violent methods were effective enough to address systemic racism. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. He remains a central figure in American history, honored with a national holiday and a monument on the National Mall. His life and work continue to serve as a primary reference point for non-violent social movements worldwide. His legacy is defined by the transition of the United States from a system of legal segregation toward one of formal equality. While debates regarding the full realization of his goals persist, his contributions to civil rights legislation and public discourse remain a fundamental part of the American historical narrative.